Okay, so in my economics class a couple of weeks back, there was this fact in it where there was like a rich man, and it was the 1800s, and he died because he didn't have $10 medicine that exists today. The 1800s, that's 200 years ago, and he didn't have the medicine, which costs £10 today. Now, I've asked ChatGPT what are some similar facts like this to just put into perspective how far humanity has come. Because pessimism is seductive. It grabs attention, it grabs views, and it's good for business. But what slips through the cracks a lot of the time is just remembering and recognizing how far as a species we've come. So I want to try and put to you some good things that have happened. Okay, so I asked ChatGPT, what are some facts like this that put into perspective how far we've come? And it replied, here are perspective-shifting, punch-in-the-gut facts that show how absurdly far humanity has come. The type of things that make the modern world feel miraculous compared to the past. These are perfect for storytelling essays, or I don't know why I said that. Okay, let me actually read the whole thing. It said these are perfect for storytelling essays or YouTube ideas. This is, I guess, because I've mentioned it, I do YouTube sometimes in the past. Okay, so it's given me 13 points. I haven't read them. Let's read them. Okay, point number 1. A toothache could kill you. Before modern dentistry and antibiotics, a simple infected tooth could spread to the bloodstream and kill kings. Today, it's cured by £5 amoxicillin and a 20-minute dental procedure. People who live in abject poverty today are able to live longer because they're able to live longer than a king would have done a couple hundred years ago because of modern economics, pharmaceuticals, whatever it is. That's how far we've come. Point number 2. In the 1800s, cities like London and Paris had raw sewage running through the streets. People slept next to open sewers. Today, most people flush clean water from a porcelain bowl that's more hygienic than the palace of Louis XIV. Okay, I don't know if it's embellishing these. It sounds like the AI is. Point number 3. Childbirth was deadlier than war. I had no idea about this. In the 1700s and 1800s, there was a 1 in 8 chance of a mother dying in her lifetime. There's 100% of anyone dying in their lifetime. I guess at childbirth it's trying to say? A 1 in 8 chance of a mother dying at childbirth, I guess? Even more crazy, to be honest, 1 in 3 children didn't make it to 5. This is 200 years ago. 33% of people died before the age of 5. Think of the stuff you haven't done. Think of the stuff that you want to do before you die. Think of how many children couldn't do even remotely what you've done in your life because they didn't even make it to 5. That's insane. Today in developed countries, maternal mortality is so low it's measured in fractions per 10,000. Point number 4. Doctors didn't wash their hands until the mid-1800s. Doctors of all people. So a guy called Ignaz Semmelweis discovered hand washing reduces deaths by 90%, but other doctors mocked him and he died in asylum. Today, alcohol gel in every hospital for pennies. That's crazy. Hand washing has become so normalized and accustomed as our part of our lives that we don't even think twice of it. Yet this guy was ridiculed for proposing the idea of washing his hands because apparently it was able to reduce death. Not because it's hygienic or because it's the right thing to do. That's mad. Point number 5. A king lived worse than a modern prisoner. King Louis XIV had no toilet, no electricity, no heating, no painkillers, no clean water. Today, a UK prisoner has central heating, 3 meals a day, dental care, unlimited water, antibiotics, anesthesia, internet access in some prisons. A literal king had worse living conditions than a modern inmate. Point 6. You can travel farther in 12 hours than anyone in history could do in a lifetime. Before trains and planes, the average person never travelled more than 20 miles from their birthplace. Today you can wake up in London and sleep in Thailand the same day. People didn't walk 20 miles from their birthplace. That's crazy. Bearing in mind all these points, right? This is 2025. And most of this shit, like technological advancement, happened between 1800 and now. 1800 and everything before, that's 1800 up to Christ, before Christ, the thousands, tens of thousands, the hundreds of thousands of years before Christ. None of this was even conceivable. Yet only in the past 200 years has this even been remotely an idea. 7. A 200-year-old illness is cured with a £1 pill. Typhoid, syphilis, pneumonia, strep throat, tuberculosis, infected cuts. They're all diseases, infections that can cost £1 to cure these days. People died of things that are cheaper to cure today than a meal deal. 8. You know more than the smartest man alive in 1850 with one Google search. A Google query gives more data than Newton had in his lifetime, more geography than Napoleon ever knew, more medical knowledge than every 18th century doctor combined. Point 9. You wouldn't survive a single medieval sentence. What? Oh, okay, this is like rights. So in the medieval times, if you stole, your hand was cut off. If you gossiped about the king, you were executed. I don't know about that one. And trial by combat. That's pretty cool, to be fair. If you were sentenced to death, at least you get to go down fighting. Today, universal human rights, courts, appeals, and forensic science. Civilization is shockingly recent. Point 10. The average person lives longer than royalty used to. Medieval kings, despite wealth, had an average life expectancy of 35 to 45. Today, the UK average is 81 years, with infinitely better quality of life. Number 11. You can summon food from your bed. For most of human history, eating required hunting, farming, or cooking with a fire. Today, you can tap your phone and a stranger cycles curry to your door. Posthumans would see this as sorcery. That's the thing as well. If you went back in time and showed anyone what you know today, even like the theories, just on paper, if you were convincing enough and knowledgeable enough on this sort of stuff, most likely you'd just be called a witch or a wizard. And because people didn't know what you were saying or what you meant or the things you were drawing, they'd just be terrified of it and they'd just execute you. So, yeah. Point 12. More people died from cleaning their kitchen than from sharks. Before electricity, many deaths came from fires, kerosene lamps, dirty water, and poor ventilation. Today, your kitchen is safer than entire cities used to be. And the last point, modern poverty is richer than past luxury. Even poor households today have plumbing, heating, refrigeration, bedding, laundry machines, and electricity. These were unthinkable luxuries just 200 years ago.